Well, Callie, we're here. We made it. We are back on Lake Winnipeg. This is gonna be our first overnight on Big Windy. And today the name rings true as we're kind of hiding from it, but is it windy out?
It's windy.
It's windy. Hopefully we can use the truck for a wind block. But yeah, if we catch some fish in the meantime, it's gonna be a big bonus, but we're here to give you a full in-depth view and overlook of the Eskimo Outbreak 450 XD Blackout Edition on our overnight. We've never really slept in this together, have we?
We have not.
No, it is a little smaller.
We set up the COTS.
Yep.
Just to see if they would fit.
Yeah, it'll fit. So this is our actual first real run with it. Fishing's super slow, so like I said, I'm not sure how well we're gonna do, but yeah, let's get on the ice, get on fish. Let's set up our overnight. Well, I think we found our spot. This is where we were the other day with Mr. Dottoli and Val. We did really, really good in the evening. So yeah, it is windy. So I don't know how much filming I'm gonna do. I'm probably gonna set the camera up and just do a quick time lapse of the outside setting up the tent. And then maybe I'll put the camera on the inside to do a time lapse of us setting up. And then once we get all set up and lines in, then I'll kind of give you a walkthrough. So yeah, bear with us. Hopefully our tent doesn't fly away. If it does, hey, we got a blooper video. You ready to do this? That exhale says a lot. Let's go.
That was an inhale.
Oh, that was an inhale. Oh gosh, I don't know if you'll be able to hear it. All right.
Ooh, fish.
Where?
Under this one.
Is that this one?
Yep.
Sorry.
He's on.
Okay, got it. Got it. That's a team effort, you guys. Go.
Well, that would have been an eater. It's tight in here.
Yeah, when you're setting everything up, it's a little tough. And I don't even know how much you can see me because it's bright outside and dark in here, so that's okay. They're gonna start coming in, so that's why we're trying to be a little bit of a rush to get this all in.
Ooh, one coming in.
I know I can't. Oh, this one bit it. There we go. That's a little one. That's 2 for 2. Cal, you gotta get this one. These are good ones. This is a good one. I need. See, he has it right now. There we go.
That's a good one.
Nah, it's just probably an eater, but or saw guy. Doesn't have a definitive white.
That's a saw guy.
That's a saw guy. How big is that saw guy?
So he's got spots.
And
he's got a white tail.
But not a definitive like fingerprint part of it. So 14, probably 14 and a quarter. That's actually not a bad saw guy. So one of the really cool things that we got from Eskimo this year is these rattle reels. We do a lot of overnights, and this is actually gonna be really, it's gonna be really nice. Instead of having these rods hanging over everywhere, we can actually attach this to something called an E-hub system. You can see this little bracket right here. All it does is this attaches to your actual tent, and I'm actually gonna install one right now as we're sitting on the ice. And when you need to take it off, of course, this just sits and you pop it off and you can use it. So this will always stay on your tent, and it can always attach just by clicking it down like that. Now the cool thing is it doesn't just have the rattle wheel. They have cell phone holders. They have like little bench supports. They have a whole bunch of stuff. So definitely go check them out on their website. I'll have a link in the description below for all the stuff that we're going to be walking through you with our tent as well. Our shelves, our setup, our flooring. Like I said, this is the Outbreak 450 XD Blackout Edition. Now I don't usually recommend doing this when you're setting up for your overnight because the hub system is kind of well connected to the way it's all built. So me taking this out could just make my tent explode. Usually you want to do this when you're in controlled environments. So basically you take the nut off. The plate can come off as well. You can leave the plate on there for now. That just sits. The hub goes on over top. And then you just put the bolt back on. I'm probably gonna have to use Callie's needle nose pliers for this one. There, I'm not gonna put it super tight because of the fact that I do wanna take it off at the end of the day. I don't like them on here because I may use them for a different tent as well. I am gonna be ordering, I can guarantee you I'm gonna be ordering quite a few of these just because it's so nice, especially for overnights. So now that that's all up, I just turn this around, hook this up on here. Now this can just stay like this. We put the hook in the hole, and then when we need to, we can clip it up and take it off. So that's really cool. But for now, it's gonna sit up here. I wanna make sure the hook is away so I don't hook myself like that. And then, there we go. Out of the way, nice and compact, but super, super handy on the overnights. All right, while we're waiting, I'm gonna give you break by break, piece by piece of what we all do for our setup, most likely on how we kind of set everything up in order. So number one is gonna be the floor. So for the floor, we are using the 2x2 foot foam tiles. I believe there's 23 or 24 tiles. You can see there's a little bit of a space there. There's a little teeny corner over in the corner. I think there's one over here. So you can get a couple more to really cover the entirety of it. But I like those little open spaces because you can put a drink on it, your minnows, a fish that you catch, you know, something to keep it a little bit cooler. But yeah, 23, 24 foam tiles. And as you can see, we did our holes right down the center. We've done so many different layouts and stuff like that as well, and this seems to work out the best for us. It's easy to have 2 and 2, yet you do have that separation so that you're not, you know, kind of bumbling in everyone else's line. So yeah, that's the first thing we usually do is the floor. That's our setup, pretty easy. And like I said, any of these, if you have any questions, feel free to put a comment below and I'll see what I can do to help them out. I'll insert this as a just pro camping tip. Keep rags everywhere. Fish come all the time. It's easy to wipe your hands off. The other thing, I don't know why it bugs me so much. It's probably because I kneel down all the time, but wet floors are like a big pet peeve. So I don't do this at home, do I, Callie?
No. Never.
But here, I keep the floors clean. Now we come to number 2 on our setup. The next thing I always like to set up is my finder. Sonar or live scope, whatever you have. It's always nice to have that set up so you can get the rods in. A lot of times, I'm not sure if you can see from the time lapse and whatever else, but we like to hang our rods up inside the rafters of the tent, and then they can just dangle down. Now there's only one negative thing to that, and you forget about it, you walk through, next thing you know, you're in a spider web full of lines. So yeah, the next thing is live scope sonar setup, because last thing you want to do is be setting up and be missing a ton of fish. A lot of times, that's when they come. So yeah, that is number 2. So for number 3, the next thing I really like to get done is the actual sleeping quarters of it. This is all going to include everything from the cot to the sleeping pad to the sleeping bags, pillows, etc. I'll kind of explain everything what we're using. Of course, this is all personal preference. You can use whatever you want, whatever you feel comfortable with. You may use this exact same setup and may not like it. So the biggest thing is try it out and use whatever you're comfortable with. But for us, we use the Cabelas camp cots. They are a little bit heavy. They're pretty heavy duty. We've been using them for the last couple of years and have never had an issue with them, and so far they've done really good job, so I like them. They are standard size. I believe they're 24, 25 inches wide by 78 long, just a standard cot size. Now, one of the biggest things when you're doing overnight is gonna be your warmth, something to keep you warm. Now, everyone thinks that that's gonna be a sleeping bag, which does help, but one of the big things that you can really improve your overnight stays is a sleeping pad. We're using the Reactor 6.5. I believe that's a 5R value. And of course, I'm gonna put a link in the description below for all of this stuff that we have here, but it is by far a huge game changer for your overnights. Anything that goes between your cot and your sleeping bag makes a big difference. So same thing, try them out, see which ones you like. You don't have to go crazy with them, but the Reactor 6.5 is the one that we're using. Now for the bed and the sleeping, just our regular standard house pillows. I had this sleeping bag for years. I don't even know where I got it from, but I've been using that for the last 3-4 years. I've had no problem with it. Callie just got a new bag herself. She's gonna be trying it out tonight, so I guess tomorrow she's gonna let you know how she likes it, but you don't have to go crazy with those as well. Of course, if you're gonna be doing different heat sources, diesel heater, propane heater, whatever you use for heat, that can also kind of change on what you want to use for your sleeping bags. But yeah, sleeping accommodations, Cabelas camp cot, some sort of sleeping pad, some sort of sleeping bag and pillow. It's pretty easy. Whatever you guys feel comfortable with to make your night on the ice more comfortable, that's the easiest way to go. So for number 4, This one is totally optional, depends on what you want to do, and there's about a billion different options. I don't want to give you like an overview look because it just glares out, but I'm using the OTTER Pro LED lights for my lighting in the tent. I'm actually running 2, 4, 6, 7. I'm running 7 lights. Just because of the fact that this is the blackout tent, that black really makes it hard to film, but realistically, you could probably get away with 2 lights if you want. There's a whole bunch of different types of LEDs, actual like light bulbs that you can hang out, and then it also depends on your power source. The power source is what I'm going to be going over in step number 5. But yeah, so far, whatever lights you want to set up, they're fine. You can also use phone lights or a flashlight, whatever's easiest for you. So number 5 really isn't a step, it's just a general statement. Make sure you have a proper power source. Now, you don't have to do anything crazy. You can always go in your garage and find an old car battery, whatever you need. It also depends on what you're running. So I need a little bit more power because of all the stuff that we run with the cameras, the mics, the amount of lights that we run. Of course, I am sponsored by Dakota Lithium, so I have Dakota Lithium running throughout this tent. I have a 23 in my LiveScope shuttle. I have a 46 that's running my diesel heater. The 10 amp power box is going to be for Callie for charging her phone. And of course, behind me here, the 135 amp power box. Now that is going to charge all my cameras, my phones. It's going to be a backup. And I actually use that as a backup for my LiveScope as well. I have my LiveScope set up so I can actually draw a secondary power from this power box if we do a 2 or 3 night stay. So whatever kind of power source you need, just make sure it's charged, make sure that it's always there, because especially if you're running a diesel heater, last thing you want to do is to call your night early because you ran out of power. Of course, all this stuff is optional. You can do whatever way you want. Some people do a minimalistic approach and they do a candle. Whatever works. Like I said, this is just another option on how we do our setup. So number 6 is a very important one, and this one I'm not actually going to get into too much detail because there's way too many different options, way too many different opinions. So yeah, I'm just going to tell you what I use. I'm using the H-Calroy diesel heater. I'm going to have to take pictures and video tomorrow because of course it's just too dark to take pictures of it. This thing will keep the tent pretty warm. Now on a really cold day in the 650, it can struggle to keep up because, I mean, hey, it's still a heater, it's still sucking in some of that cold air that's coming through, but overall, that's what I've been using for the last little while. I think the big thing I like about it is I don't feel drowsy, I don't feel tired, I don't feel like, not really sick, I feel better by using the diesel heater. The other really cool thing that I've noticed is on a really cold day, you can go outside and you don't steam, like you don't have that bitey feeling because it is a little bit drier of a heat. So yeah, that is gonna be running, like say on my 46 amp hour battery, that'll easily get me through a couple of days. And realistically, I probably go through, I'd say about 6 to 7 liters for a regular day and overnight of diesel, which is just a little jerry can of it. So yeah, I do have it turned down a little bit just because of the noise. I forgot my my exhaust on there, so it is a little bit louder. But yeah, diesel heater, the Big Buddy heater, the propane heater is by far one of the most sought after style heating systems. It is a really good radiant heat as well. The big thing with any kind of heating source, just make sure you have a carbon monoxide detector. I do have one set up on my camera, but because I have my camera kind of precariously perched up on top of my LiveScope, I don't want to move it too much just in case it falls over while I'm talking here. But carbon monoxide detector, make sure you have one of those. Doesn't matter if you're using diesel, if you're using propane, any kind of heating source is just nice to have. That 40-50 bucks can save a life. So yeah, this has been brought over, it's been beat to death, but there's no such thing about talking about it too much. Carbon monoxide detector, number 1 thing when you're doing your overnights. Other than that, heat source, whatever keeps you warm. 6 blankets, 5 hoodies, diesel heater, propane heater, whatever works. And last but not least is what kind of accessories that you have. Of course, you can see the ARCLAB WINGMAN shelf that's on Callie's side and my side here behind me. Now, the one thing I did notice in the 650 hub, these shelves actually sit super level. They're really durable. On this hub, I'm not sure, maybe because it has a little bit more of a globe effect to it, that the shelves do sit pretty angled. So I wouldn't really put a phone on these ones here. I do have my minnows, my battery. We'll use it for you know, holders for pliers and whatnot. But yeah, I'm not sure if that's something we could figure out in the future, but for this kind of shelf, I think the dynamics, the angle set a little too far off. It has a little bit too much of a slope for me to trust putting anything on it in this this here. But the other thing you can do is, like I pointed out before, rattle reels. Eskimo has a whole bunch of e-hub setups, like say they have this, phone holders, tablet holders. So go check out the website, and like I said, I'll have a link in the description below for all that stuff. Is there any other accessories that we have? Rod holders, Yeah, that's about it.
Really?
Yeah. So it's pretty basic. Like I say, you can make this as simplified as you want or as complex as you want, but realistically, this is our setup. Hopefully that helped you out to give you a little bit of an idea on what we're doing. Now, next thing we need is a couple giant fish to end the night. It is only 6:35 and we're gonna be cooking. Today, what are we having for supper?
Grilled cheese and tomato soup.
Yes, grilled cheese, tomato soup. I am super excited for this. I am never ever gonna deny grilled cheese and tomato soup, especially when you're on the ice. So we're gonna get this all set up, get this all cleaned up, and then I think get our supper ready. Maybe I'll walk you through some of our cooking as well.
Oh wait, you brought ham, right?
Oh, yes.
So they're Monte Cristos, not grilled cheese.
Is that what it is when you have cooked cheese and ham sandwich?
Yeah.
A Monte Cristo?
Yeah.
Oh, are we fancy? We're gonna be doing Monte Cristo sandwiches and tomato soup. Oh, nice. I didn't know it was that fancy. So I guess another thing that goes with the accessories is a little container for all your kitchen stuff. This is gonna pretty much hold everything that we have, our pots, pans, our boiler, some spoons, some salt, pepper, whatever else we need. You figure it out. It's one of those where you don't really know what you need. You could just bring some hot dogs, cook it over a fire. Yeah, whatever you're gonna eat. But today we're going fancy, so I'm gonna need pretty much everything out of here. I've said this in so many videos. This is an Outbound Canadian Tire Special style burner. Single burner, I love it. Those jet boils are super, super nice, but for like $15, this thing has been absolutely flawless. Oh, far one? No, far one, far one. Go ahead, you can get it. I'll get the cooler out of the way. See, it's coming after you.
That's a burbot.
There we go. Taking this one out.
Okay,
there we go, she's on.
I have to back up.
She has to back up.
Can you take my blanket? Oh, it's not a burbot.
There we go. We're trying to do a Instagram live while cooking,
Ouch, ouch.
while catching fish.
Okay.
There we go. That's a decent one.
Look at how it was hooked.
Just barely.
Like, just the
On the
tiniest
skin of
little
the
bit of
teeth.
skin.
Okay, this is out of the way.
22 and a half.
22 and a half.
All over my bed.
Okay, and then just kind of show them from there. I don't want to get it all in the sandwiches. Sorry guys, we're trying to do all this, and Callie lays up with a 22 and a half. That was on my rod though. So I think it's mine. Oh, that's looking good, you guys. Ooh.
So cold.
Boom. Got it. Now you guys ready for this? Ready?
No, don't. Just put it down.
Come on. Think I can do it twice?
No, just put it down.
Think I can do it twice? Done. With flair. The overnight, I think, was pretty successful. The heat was good. It was pretty quiet. The wind really died down. The only negative thing is we're kind of on a main route, and you're gonna hear a ton of vehicles going through. So hopefully we're gonna get a whole bunch of fish today, more or less make this video a little bit more exciting for you guys. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed it so far, especially with more or less the setup. Like I said, the fish is gonna be more of a bonus today than anything else. The whole point of this video is to kind of give you an overview of the 450 XT Blackout. And yes, it can be done. 2 people in an overnight in this tent. Let's get some more lines in and see if we can get a couple. There we go, that's a little bit better. Get the other one, Callie. There we go. Double header, my line's all tied up. Oh, shouldn't have horsed that one in. Got ourselves a little school. See if I can get this guy out so I can help Callie. There we go, and of course she has to beat me. There we go. Beauties.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
That
he
looks
just
like a
missed
pipe.
me.
Must be a pipe.
Come on, Callie, get him. That's a good one. That is a good one. That is... Gotta turn the propane off.
You didn't feel that big. That's a good one.
Callie's 24. Oh, beautiful fish.
Oh, you lose it?
I gotta set my drag harder. Where is it? Oh, Callie, there's a couple of them.
Yeah, I ripped it right out of its mouth.
There we go. Ready to grab, Kelly? 23.5 on a Frankenstein Stinger. I think that's a 2.5. Yeah, 2.5. I'm on the phone with him right now. Showing everyone that plastics can work, you guys. Well, everyone, I think that is it for us today. It is almost 12 o'clock. We're gonna get set up and head home, get ready for the New Year's celebrations tonight. But yeah, thank you guys very much for watching. Like I said, I'm not sure how this video is gonna be. More or less, I just wanted to give you an idea on how my setup was, how we do our overnight, and what I really think of the 450 XT Blackout Edition. I think the only negative thing I have to say about the tent is that it's black and it's really hard to film in. I have to have a lot of lights, but I mean, realistically, to anybody else, that's really not gonna be an issue. It's still doable, and I think other than leaving my exhaust for the diesel heater behind, I have no idea how the sound's gonna be on this video, but we caught some good fish. Callie caught some good fish. We didn't have too much night bite, which means we got a little bit of sleep in. And honestly, it was just an absolute beautiful night and beautiful day. So this is a good way to end it. Talk to a couple people on Instagram Live. Keep an eye on there as well. Sometimes I go live and you can kind of see the behind scenes of the videos. But yeah, caught some walleyes, got some eaters. Maybe tonight we're gonna make some walleye catch and cook. I never know the word of it. What is it gonna be? I don't even have to say it. She knows what it is.
Lemon.
Lemon, pepper, spice bites. But yeah. Like I say, thanks guys for watching. Have a happy new year. Until we catch you again, keep it real, stay safe on the ice. Our next adventure is Master Perch. Stay tuned for that. Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Oh, I thought you were gonna meet me.
Oh, sorry.
Try it again. Happy New Year.
Pick up your trash.
Pick up your trash, that's how you do it.